Welcome back to Dream Room, where we turn ordinary corners into beautiful, calming spaces you actually love living in. Before we step into today's ideas, I want you to picture your own home for a moment. Maybe you have a small patio that never feels finished. Maybe your front yard looks dry and plain, no matter how often you water it. Maybe you love decorating your bedroom, arranging your home office, choosing soft fabrics, warm lighting, pretty baskets, natural textures, and little handmade details. But when you look outside, the garden still feels disconnected from the rest of your home. And if that sounds like you, this video is made for you. Because sustainable landscaping is not only for people with huge backyards, expensive tools, or professional design teams. It is for anyone who wants to make a small space feel more peaceful, more useful, and more beautiful. It is for the person who saves glass jars for planting herbs, who loves wooden trays, stone paths, clay pots, woven baskets, dried flowers, cozy corners, balcony plants, and simple ideas that feel natural instead of complicated. Today, we are going to look at 8 sustainable landscaping ideas that can help you save water, cut costs, reduce maintenance, and even boost the value of your home. But more than that, these ideas will help you see your outdoor space differently. Not as a problem area, but as another room of your home. A place where rainwater becomes useful, old bricks become charm, native plants become living decor, herbs become fragrance, and even a tiny corner can feel like a private retreat. So before we begin, make sure to subscribe to Dream Room for more cozy, practical, and creative ideas for your home, garden, and small spaces. 1. Start with a water-smart layout before you buy anything. Before you buy one new plant, one bag of mulch, or one pretty outdoor pot, I want you to do something most people skip. Step outside and simply observe your space. Because a beautiful, sustainable yard does not begin at the garden center. It begins with noticing. Where does the morning sun touch first? Which corner becomes painfully hot in the afternoon? Where does rainwater run after a storm? Where does it collect? Which area always feels dry, dusty, or forgotten? This is exactly like decorating a small bedroom or home office. You would never buy a desk, a rug, and shelves without first looking at the light, the wall space, and how you move through the room. Your garden works the same way. So think of your yard as an outdoor room with different moods. One corner may be perfect for drought-tolerant plants and gravel. Another may need shade-loving greenery. A low spot near a downspout could become a rain garden instead of a muddy problem. A sunny wall could become the perfect place for herbs, climbing plants, or a small seating area. The goal is not to force your outdoor space to behave like someone else's garden. The goal is to understand what your own home is already telling you. Try dividing your space into 3 simple zones: dry areas, moderate water areas, and naturally moist areas. Once you see those zones clearly, every choice becomes easier. You waste less money, you kill fewer plants, you water less, and your whole landscape begins to feel intentional, calm, and beautifully connected to the way you actually live. 2. Replace thirsty grass with a beautiful, living ground cover. Now that you understand how water moves through your space, the next question is simple. Does your lawn really need to stay a lawn? For many homes, traditional grass is the most demanding part of the entire landscape. It needs frequent watering, regular mowing, feeding, trimming, and constant attention. And after all that work, it often becomes the least useful part of the yard, a flat green area that looks nice for a moment, but gives very little back. So instead of thinking of the ground as something you must cover with grass, imagine it as a living outdoor rug. A small front yard could become soft and charming with clover, staying green with less water while bringing a gentle cottage feeling to the entrance. A narrow side yard that never grows healthy grass could become a mossy walkway, calm and shaded, almost like a quiet spa corner beside the house. A sunny patio edge could be softened with creeping thyme between stepping stones, releasing fragrance every time someone walks by. If you prefer a natural, relaxed look, fine fescue or meadow-style planting can create movement and softness without constant mowing. And if your style leans more Mediterranean or rustic, gravel mixed with low-growing plants can make the space feel clean, warm, and intentional. This is especially powerful for viewers working with small spaces. You do not need to remove every inch of grass at once. Start with one dry patch, one awkward strip, or one corner that never looks good. Replace it with something easier, prettier, and more suited to the way your home actually lives. A sustainable yard does not need a perfect lawn. It needs a surface that feels alive, useful, and beautifully designed. 3. Use native plants as the foundation of a low-cost, low-maintenance garden. After you rethink the lawn, the next layer is choosing plants that actually belong in your space. And this is where native plants become one of the smartest decisions you can make. Think of native plants like the timeless furniture of the landscape. They fit the room. They understand the climate. They do not need constant adjusting, replacing, or rescuing, because they are already adapted to your local rainfall, soil, seasons, and weather patterns. They usually need less water, less fertilizer, and fewer pesticides than many decorative plants that were never meant to live there. For a homeowner who wants beauty without endless maintenance, this is a huge advantage. Native shrubs can give your garden structure, almost like the larger furniture pieces in a living room. Native grasses add softness and movement, especially when the wind passes through them. Native flowers bring seasonal color, while native ground covers help protect the soil and reduce bare, weedy areas. But the secret is to design with intention. Do not just scatter random plants everywhere. Choose a simple color palette, the same way you would decorate a bedroom or home office. Maybe soft white and green for a peaceful look. Maybe warm orange and gold for a sunny, welcoming entrance. Maybe purple and silver for a calm, elegant garden corner. Then repeat a few plant varieties so the space feels curated, not chaotic. You can place native plants outside a bedroom window, beside a patio chair, or near a home office view. So every time you look out, you see color, movement, birds, butterflies, and life. That is when a garden stops feeling like extra work and starts feeling like part of your home. 4. Build with natural, reclaimed, and permeable materials. Now let's move from plants to the materials that shape the feeling of your outdoor space. Because sustainable landscaping is not only about what grows. It is also about what you build with, what you walk on, what frames your garden beds, and what gives the space texture, warmth, and character. Think about the difference between a plain concrete path and a walkway made from reclaimed brick. One feels cold and ordinary. The other feels aged, personal, and full of charm. Natural stone borders can make even a simple planting bed look finished. Gravel patios can turn a small, unused corner into a peaceful courtyard. Permeable pavers allow rainwater to soak into the ground instead of rushing away, which makes the space both beautiful and practical. And the best part is that many of these materials do not need to be expensive. Old bricks can become a small herb path. Flat stones can create stepping stones through a garden bed. Gravel and terracotta pots can bring a warm Mediterranean feeling to a patio. Reused wood can become a simple raised bed, a small bench, or an outdoor plant shelf. For anyone who loves natural decor, handmade details, woven baskets, wooden trays, clay pots, stone textures, and cozy corners, this is where the garden begins to feel like an extension of the home. You are not just adding hardscape. You are creating structure. You are giving the eye a place to rest. You are making small spaces feel intentional instead of unfinished. And when natural, reclaimed, and permeable materials work together, your landscape starts to look timeless, thoughtful, and quietly expensive without needing to be wasteful. 5. Create a rain garden or dry creek bed that solves drainage beautifully. Now let's talk about one of the most overlooked opportunities in a home landscape, the place where water becomes a problem. Maybe you have a corner that always floods after heavy rain. Maybe the downspout pours water straight into the soil and leaves a muddy patch beside the house. Maybe the walkway becomes slippery, or one part of the yard always looks messy because water keeps collecting there. Most people see that kind of spot as a failure. But with sustainable landscaping, it can become one of the most beautiful features in the entire yard. A rain garden is simply a shallow planted area designed to catch runoff from roofs, patios, driveways, or walkways. Instead of letting that water rush away, the garden slows it down and allows it to soak into the ground. Deep-rooted plants help absorb the moisture, while the planting itself turns a drainage problem into a soft, natural focal point. If you want something even more decorative, a dry creek bed can guide water through the space while looking beautiful even when it is not raining. River stones, curved lines, and moisture-loving native plants can make the area feel intentional, almost like a small landscape feature you would see in a thoughtfully designed garden. And this idea works even in small spaces. A mini rain garden beside a downspout, a stone-lined strip along a narrow side yard, or a planted corner near the front path can completely change the feeling of the home. Instead of hiding the wet spot, you design around it. That is the beauty of sustainable landscaping. It teaches you to stop fighting nature and start shaping it into something useful, calm, and beautiful. 6. Add hidden water-saving systems. Drip irrigation, rain barrels, mulch, and olas. After you design with rainwater, the next step is learning how to save water quietly, without making your garden look technical or complicated. Because the smartest sustainable features are often the ones you barely notice. They work in the background, just like good storage in a small bedroom or home office. When everything is arranged well, the space feels calm, but it is also doing a lot of work for you. Drip irrigation is one of the best examples. Instead of spraying water into the air, it sends moisture directly to the roots, where plants actually need it. That means less waste, healthier plants, and less time standing outside with a hose. Rain barrels are another simple tool. They collect water from the roof so you can reuse it later in containers, garden beds, or patio plants. And if you do not love the look of a barrel, you can hide it behind tall grasses, a wooden screen, or a group of decorative pots. Mulch is just as important. A neat layer of organic mulch helps hold moisture in the soil, keeps weeds down, and makes garden beds look finished. For small spaces, even containers can benefit from smart water-saving choices. Group plants by water needs, use self-watering planters, or try clay olas that slowly release water into the soil. These systems may not be the most dramatic part of your garden, but they are what make the beauty easier to maintain. And for a busy person who wants a peaceful patio, a tidy front path, or a small garden outside the window, that matters. You are not watering more. You are watering smarter. 7. Turn edible plants into stylish home decor. Now let's talk about one of the most rewarding ideas in sustainable landscaping, using edible plants as part of your home decor. For a long time, people treated vegetable gardens like something that had to be hidden in the back corner. But today, herbs, berries, fruit trees, edible flowers, and climbing vegetables can become some of the most beautiful features in your outdoor space. Imagine walking along a small pathway lined with rosemary, thyme, or lavender, where every step releases a soft fragrance. Picture berry bushes used in formal hedges, giving structure to the garden while also offering something fresh to pick. A small fruit tree can become a natural focal point, bringing shade, beauty, and harvest into the same space. Raised beds can be arranged in clean geometric shapes so the garden feels organized instead of messy. Trellises can lift climbing vegetables upward, adding height and charm to a patio, side yard, or compact backyard. Edible flowers can be mixed with ornamental plants to bring color, softness, and a handmade feeling to the design. And even if you only have a balcony or tiny patio, this idea still works. You can grow herbs, strawberries, or dwarf citrus in pots. You can create a vertical herb wall near an outdoor table. You can place basil, rosemary, mint, lettuce, and edible flowers near the kitchen door for a simple garden that feels both beautiful and useful. For anyone who loves decorating kitchens, dining spaces, garden tables, and cozy outdoor corners, edible landscaping brings everything together. It makes your home look alive, smell fresh, and give something back. 8. Design a sustainable front yard that boosts curb appeal and home value. Finally, let's bring everything to the front of the home, because this is where sustainable landscaping can make the strongest first impression. Your front yard is the face of your house. It is what neighbors see when they walk by. It is what guests notice before they step inside. And if one day you decide to sell, it is one of the first things future buyers will remember. But a beautiful front yard does not have to mean a perfect grass lawn. In fact, one of the smartest upgrades you can make is a lawn-free or low-lawn design that uses drought-tolerant plants, native foundation shrubs, pollinator-friendly flowers, and clean natural materials. Think of the front entry like a styled room. The walkway is the path through the space. The plants are the furniture. The front door is the focal point, and the edges are what make everything feel neat and intentional. You can frame the entrance with low-water shrubs, add a small ornamental tree for shade and structure, use gravel or permeable pavers for the walkway, and repeat colors so the whole design feels calm and polished. Even a narrow strip beside the driveway can become beautiful with stepping stones, ground covers, and drought-tolerant borders. The important detail is structure. Sustainable landscaping should never look forgotten. Clean edges, repeated plants, simple symmetry near the door, and tidy plant choices can make the space feel elegant, not wild or messy. Even in neighborhoods with stricter rules, you can still create an HOA-friendly design by choosing neat native plants, defined borders, and a balanced layout. When done well, your front yard does more than save water. It welcomes people in, reflects your personal style, and quietly adds value to the entire home. Conclusion: save water, cut costs, grow beauty, add value. And this is the real secret of sustainable landscaping. It is not about having the biggest yard, the most expensive plants, or a picture-perfect garden that looks impossible to maintain. It is about making better choices with the space you already have. Maybe your home has only a tiny patio, a narrow front path, a balcony with a few pots, a dry patch beside the driveway, or a small backyard that has never felt truly finished. But every one of those spaces has potential. A clover path can replace thirsty grass. A rain garden can turn a muddy problem into beauty. Native plants can bring movement and color outside your window. Reclaimed brick, gravel, stone, wood, herbs, and simple handmade details can make your outdoor space feel warm, personal, and connected to the rooms inside your home. And when your landscape becomes easier to care for, something changes. You stop seeing the garden as another chore. You start seeing it as a peaceful extension of your bedroom, your home office, your kitchen, your entryway, and your daily life. A sustainable home does not need to look plain. It can feel elegant, cozy, natural, creative, and valuable. It can save water, reduce costs, support wildlife, improve curb appeal, and make your home feel more alive every time you step outside. So now I would love to hear from you. Which idea would you try first in your own space? A living ground cover, a rain garden, native plants, edible decor, or a front yard makeover? Tell me in the comments below, and also let me know what kind of space you have. A balcony, patio, bedroom window view, home office corner, front yard, or backyard. And if you enjoy simple, beautiful, and practical ideas for decorating your home and garden, make sure to follow Dream Room for more inspiration.